All right, guys, we are going on the first shed hunting trip of the year. The goal this weekend is to find a brown antler, and that's really all I care about. And then, seeing all the land and the landscape and enjoying myself. It's been such a long week. I just need to get outside and walk some miles. But before I can walk the miles, I've got to drive the distance. And it has snowed a good foot. Check this out. I mean, we are looking at a ton of snow. So it's gonna be really interesting to see. It's gonna be really interesting to see how this drive goes. Where I'm going, there should be not as much snow. So I'm hoping that this doesn't affect our weekend. It's just gonna make the drive a little more dangerous. So let's go.
I think we have done it all. She knows me in and out.
That was 2.5 hours of bare knuckle driving, whiteout conditions, so much snow. Now we've hit some clear roads. Now we're really gonna cruise, and hopefully we're gonna go out to an area with far less snow. So I'm getting really excited now. Okay, so I don't think this road is gonna work. It's a little bit too muddy, so we're gonna go try a different road. Well guys, I'm not gonna lie, it got pretty real there for a second. So I went to a different road. The road was better right up until this puddle right here. And I tried to take the 4Runner right into there and got stuck right there. And it was not moving at all. This stuff is really deep and really suctiony and really muddy. And so I had to try to get it out with the Max Tracks. And for about 15 minutes, I worked on it. I'm caked and covered in mud. My car is caked and covered in mud, but it's out. I mean, just look at this thing. All right guys, that was completely bonkers. I tried again for a third time. This entire drive has taken me from 5 a.m. and it's now 3 o'clock. So to get situated took me pretty much all day. So now we only have like a day and a half to find an antler. But we are going to walk. We're gonna walk until we find an antler. We gotta make this trip worth it. Can't let stuff like that bum you out. So I'm gonna try not to. So let's get walking. All right guys, we're 0.6 miles away from a road. We just started hiking after time and time again of getting stuck in obstacles and snow. I almost didn't even come on this trip because there's just so much to do at home. There's so much work to do, but at the end of the day, you just gotta say screw it and just go and enjoy yourself. You'll be a more balanced person, and you'll be better because of it. And well, I'm just walking up on my first antler actually the second antler of the year, first antler of the trip. So let's go take a look. And boom, oh, it's a nice one. That's a nice one for Bruce. In fact, that might be my biggest antler ever. That is a really nice antler. Oh my goodness. It's got a nice base. He's just a solid 6. It is a white, not a brown, but that is 100% okay with me. No control, 'cause when the daylight comes, we're just good friends.
Baby, good friends. When the daylight comes, we're just good friends, but like lovers.
Oh, that is a beautiful antler. It's got a really long royal. It's hooked up in at the end. Hooked up 6th. Good fronts. Solid base. Look at that thing. Let's go. Yeah. That, my friends, is a branchler if I have ever seen one. Got about 2 hours worth of light. And we're just gonna keep walking, see what we come on. This mud is intense. It is sticky, suctiony, slippery, all the S's. All right, so it's almost last light. And I saw 4 or 5 bulls right over this ridge. So I'm trying to sneak up to see if they're still carrying their antlers. But on my way up there.
On the weekend.
Well, as much as I wanted one of those bulls to be either shed out or missing a side, they were all still packing. The good news is they all seem to be smaller bulls. So that raises the question, 2 questions really. Are the big bulls shed out? And where are they? So I guess we'll try to answer that tomorrow. But right now, we are headed back to the car to make some dinner. All right, guys, we are back to the car with the antler. I went and I picked it up at the stash. And let's see, it's almost 9. We did about 7.5 miles today. Not the longest, but considering that we started maybe around 2 and had all those troubles earlier today, not bad. All right, guys, tonight is this ReadyWise stuff I got from Costco, teriyaki chicken and rice. We got this Eureka burner, boiling some water. We've got our tub of water. We've got our antler. We've got bedding right here, a whole bunch of snacks, and sleeping bag and gear in the front. So this is gonna be our night tonight. And we've got the office going on a iPad right here and connected to a Bluetooth speaker. So this is the life. All right, guys, it is the morning of day number 2 out here. I got up, ate some oatmeal right at first light, and I glassed up a bull in the area that I walked yesterday. He was a good bull. I don't know, he was a pretty good bull, probably like 330s, and he was still packing, which I was disappointed about, quite frankly. So right now we're just gonna keep driving this road and see if we can see any more elk. Go, 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 go. All right, guys, I am about 4.75 miles into my hike of day 2. I'm not seeing the elk sign that I want to at all. But the other thing is, it is really cold. I got my mittens on here and everything. It's probably 15 to 20 degrees, and it feels like, man, the humidity is high. It might be like 80 or 90%. Anyways, got the first shed of the day. It is a deer shed. Check this thing out. Just a little spiky. Forky, I mean. There we go. Beautiful. Antler number 2 for the day. And it is old and broken. Not exactly what we were looking for. pretty cool. Not bad. Let's go.
Just like this, will we find home?
All right, guys, after 11 and a half miles, the first hike of the day is over. That was a dead zone. There are a few tracks going back and forth, mostly mule deer, a few elk, but nothing that hung around at all. One thing I found is that when you're shed hunting, you better just enjoy shed hunting and not just picking up sheds. Otherwise, you are going to be sorely disappointed. It's 5:40, so I only have about 2 hours of light left. So I think the game plan here is just to see the bulls. And I've got about a 3 or 4 mile loop planned out here to kind of finish off the day and finish off the weekend. So yeah, let's go see what happens. Alright guys, I did just see some elk. There might be bulls. I'm gonna get closer and check it out. Alas, they were just cows. I got all excited for nothing. Dang it, I thought I had seen my first bald bulls of the season.
In London, drunk at night, in LA, picking fights. I think we have done it all.
Is this some artifact, or is this just a really cool looking stone?
Love of a different kind, but we still have no control.
In the car again, got the office going. We've got the water going on in the background with the window down. And we're gonna make ourselves another dehydrated meal. Tonight's Mountain House. It's gonna be better than last night's meal, hopefully. And I'm excited. All right guys, it's the next morning and I've just been looking for bulls and I do see some, but they're all still packing. So I guess that's my cue to head home and come back a different time. All right guys, the adventure is finally over. I'm back in Bozeman. We got about 2 to 3 inches of snow. I got absolutely slammed. Really kind of unusual for this springtime weather. But at the end of the trip, I got this shed to remember it by, and it was a heck of an adventure. You know, a lot of people make fun of shed hunters because there's no meat involved in shed hunting and you don't kill anything. And for me, shed hunting and hunting is not about the meat. It's a very small portion of it. What I enjoy is just the adventure, getting away from my desk, clearing my mind space, enjoying the land, enjoying the animals. And you might even come out of it with something that looks like this. And then this just frankly reminds you of that trip, of that journey, of that adventure, of that time in your life, of the time in life when things were uncertain and you were still trying to figure things out. This is gonna remind me of driving through a snowstorm at 5 a.m. when Bozeman and Montana was just getting dumped with a really unusual spring snowstorm. Me getting stuck in a bog and almost not being able to get my car out, and me going and spending 2 nights just away in the middle of nowhere and just hiking endless miles trying to find some antler. So that's what this reminds me of, is I'll be able to look at it every time I'm at home and just remember that time that I had out in the middle of nowhere, just having a good time, covering the miles, looking for some elk antlers. And that is an awesome adventure. It's something that I really, really enjoy. So there it is, hung on the wall as a symbol of the adventure that we had. All right guys, so I just got home and we want to measure the size of this bull right here that I found. So go ahead and drop in the comments what measurement you guys think it is. I'm gonna guess right about 320. I might be a little large there, but we'll see. Cade's guess is 300.
I said 300, but now that's,
That's a pretty different guess.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens here. The single side measurement for this bowl was about 134 and 3/8. Is that correct? And if the side was doubled and then given a 40-inch spread credit, it comes out to 308 and 308 inches and how do you say the decimal?
3/4.
3/4 of an inch. So that's not a bad bowl. He's good. Definitely a little smaller than 320 and a little bigger than 300, but he's a beautiful bowl. That's super awesome. It's always fun to guess and then actually measure and see where you line up.